If you already experience migraines, there's a chance you might have more migraines after surgery. So my room is really dark, and that's because I'm having another migraine. But I decided I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I wasn't prepared for it, so maybe somebody out there might be helped by this, I guess. But obviously, like, you need to talk to your doctor and stuff, especially if you, like, don't have migraines so that you start having them. Talk to my PA follow-up or whatever with her, and she used to be, like, a neurosurgeon PA or something like that for, like, 10 years. So she knew a lot about, like, how the brain functions. And her like, theory is that, my body's under a lot of stress. My cortisol levels are still high because my body's still healing from surgery and stuff. And so having so many migraines right after surgery could be because of that. And also my body getting used to having, like, a thinner blood, like, and the flowing of my blood and everything being different. It could be getting used to that too. So who knows? Her hope was that just, like, in a few months, when my body is kind of back to more baseline, like normal cortisol levels aren't as high, like all of that, that the migraines will go back to, like, being the way they were before. And I had looked this up, and apparently it is a very common thing that can happen. People, especially people who have migraines already, can end up having more migraines after surgery, which absolutely sucks. I'm just gonna say it. I forgot what her official title is, but there's the Heart Institute that I go to, they have a Coumadin clinic, so they've got somebody who's specifically, like, their job is to, like, help you with vitamin K intake, and, like, you kind of learn about, all of that stuff and keeping track of it, and she tests your INR and everything, and thankfully it's not like an arm, like a draw, like a blood draw, like when you go to the whatever it's called, the lab to get your labs done, because I had so many bruises, like, of the blood draws they were doing, like, every couple a week, and then now I'm, like, weekly. But so she can just do, like, a finger prick thing, which is really nice, and then, like, test it on this machine, and it's within, like, a couple seconds. So that's super cool. But anyway, so I talked to her about migraines, and her daughter gets them as well. And technically, I am not supposed to be taking NSAIDs, I think is what it's called. So, like, ibuprofen, Excedrin, Advil, I believe, or aspirin. But yeah, I can take, like, Tylenol. Tylenol's, like, the safe one to take, because they all affect blood flow or something like that. So they can, like, increase the effectiveness, I believe, of, like, warfarin. It just, like, thins your blood even more, and you don't want your blood to be too thin, so that's why they want you to stay away from them. But she was like, you have to take something for your migraines, and we don't want you to be miserable. So she's like, if it's helping you, and it's like, it's not like you get a migraine every day, like, you shouldn't take Excedrin every day anyway, but, like, then take it, So the way my migraines typically work is I get, like, this, like, sparkly kind of vision, so I can kind of feel it coming on, and I'm like, uh-oh. And so then that's when I take Excedrin. Like, I try to take it as early as possible, because if I wait, it ends up not being as effective, which sucks. But if I get it early enough, it's usually pretty effective, and thankfully doesn't hurt as bad. I used to suffer through them for years with, like, nothing but a little bit of ibuprofen or Tylenol, and that was, like, oh, so bad. Typically, it'll start as, like, the eye thing, and then this gradually increasing headache. I would get nauseous, and then I would get super exhausted and have to, like, sleep, and it would last for, like, 4 to 6 hours or something crazy. But thankfully with the Excedrin, typically it's maybe 4 hours of just kind of feeling blah and, like, having like a headache, but it's not, like, too bad. And then I always end up with, like, kind of a migraine hangover, where, like, if I get up too fast, or, like, I move, just moving at all, sometimes, like, my head throbs. But yeah, that's how mine typically work. But yeah, so there's all that information in case anybody is wondering. And if you're planning to go through heart surgery and everything, like that is something that I was not prepared for. So there you go. If you get migraines, there's a chance you might have an increase in migraines, and I really hope you don't. And obviously I'm not a doctor or anything, but really hopefully it doesn't affect any of you. Hopefully everything will go back to normal, because like I know my migraines are mostly stress related, but I usually only get one maybe like once a month, and I wasn't even getting them that often before my heart condition got as bad as it got. So because I went for like a year in between before, and like I really didn't have them that bad. It was like maybe every couple months or something, until I started getting closer to severe with my aortic stenosis, and then it became more like once a month. So yeah, hopefully it goes back to at least once a month, if not less, once my body's not as stressed out anymore, you know, so we'll see.